everybody. Happy Wednesday, and more importantly, happy Thanksgiving Eve. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Wednesday. And by the way, we're here every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we have a very special episode tonight because the one and only Vincent Ingala is in the house. Man, he's the consummate showman, multi-instrumentalist, and was nice enough to sit down and have some conversation and make some music. So I can't wait to share that with you. Speaking of which, please click share. We want to spread the good vibes, spread the music. We want to keep this going. So do us a favor. Click share. If you're tuning in from Vincent's page, what's up? This is AH Live. Don't forget to like Adam Holly Artist page, and you can hang out with us every Wednesday. We got some incredible guests coming up as well. We've got Mindy Abair, Althea Renee, Ollie Silk. So we're going to keep it rolling. But tonight is Vincent Ingala. Real quick, let's do a little bit from my catalog just to get us warmed up, if that's all right. We're going to start off with a tune of mine. It's called Joyride. Going old school all the way back to the first record, just the beginning. Y'all can put your hands right here if you want. We'll have a little party here before we bring Vinny out. Come on. my goodness, we are just getting warmed up here, ladies and gentlemen. So as I mentioned, we have an incredible guest in the house. But before we get to that, real quick, just want to remind you guys, and first of all, thank everyone that's been supporting the show. I cannot believe that this is episode 34. Pretty unbelievable. If you want to continue to support the show, it's very easy. We make it real simple for you guys. You just got to click those links in the description. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and now Stars as well. And it just helps us just keep the show going. Keep adding elements to it and have our incredible guests each week. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. We make sure to commemorate you in every episode in the credits. And thank you. So, as I mentioned, we've got a special guest in the house. He has 6 albums to date. Came out with his first one when he was 17. And man, what an incredible talent. Vocals, guitar, drums, bass, and of course, you love him for that incredible sound on the tenor saxophone. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to share this with you. Please enjoy Vincent Ingala. All right, what is up, Vincent? How you doing today?
Adam, how you doing, man? Great to be with you.
Oh, man, the pleasure's all mine. Thank you for taking the time. And, man, you didn't have to. You went and got a haircut just for this. No, I'm kidding. But you got a fresh cut today.
I got to take care of my man, on the show. I got to look good. I got to do the part, That's it.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, though. Thanks for taking the time. And, man, let's dive right in. This is where I start off with every guest. What prompted you to pick up the saxophone?
Oh, man. Well, I was, when I was young, I started on a bunch of other instruments. So seemingly for a long time, I was playing drums and guitar and keys, and I really wasn't into any horns. But, in 5th grade, I entered the orchestral band. And that's when you got to pick, what are you going to play, trumpet or sax or clarinet? And, clarinet was out. I didn't want to play clarinet, Who wants to play clarinet? I'm sorry. But I was, funny enough, I was listening to a lot of Louis Prima at the time, and he had a sax player with him named Sam Butera, kind of like an unsung hero of saxophone, and he just had this sound that was unbelievable, and I was so inspired to pick up the sax from listening to Sam Butera play, and still I think he's one of my biggest influences today. Nobody sounds like this guy. You could say he was rock and roll, but he had a soulful sound too, in New Orleans, and he played ballads so well. He just had such a unique sound, and so I really credit that with wanting to pick up the saxophone. And then it took on a life of its own. The tenor sax would go on to become my main voice. I still play other instruments and dabble with them and record with them, but I think as an identity thing, I lean towards the saxophone because I think it's such a unique voice, especially the tenor. It's like the closest to the human voice, So that's just what I've identified with, and but I still don't like to close my mind off to anything. I love it all. I love all types of music. I love all the instruments. I was like a sponge as a kid. I just get my hands on anything I could. It was all good. But I credit that whole exciting time period of 5th grade on when I was really starting to listen to get into jazz too. And my father was a DJ, so I grew up with a lot of vinyl, and he sprung the Crusaders on me, and that was like a whole. That opened up my ears to so much.
Yeah.
Wilton Felder, and then it started getting, started sinking my teeth into all kinds of saxophone players and styles and genres. So it was a gradual process for me.
You've become a renaissance man in terms of, I don't want to miss one, but we've got the drums, we've got bass, guitars, vocals, obviously saxophone. Man, how did you, I'm feeling really ineffectual right now. I'm still trying to learn the guitar, and you've seemingly mastered about 5 of them, and then you incorporate it in the show too. How did you just develop such a high level on all of those simultaneously?
I can't even say the word guitar on you because I'm just trying to fake it best I could to remotely play like you. I get by. But it's just a love of music. I just loved it all. I just loved so many different bands and artists and genres. So I think with that comes the want to try to oh, I'm interested in drums now, or oh, I'm getting into piano now. How do you play this, or guitar? Oh man, saw that guy on TV. I want to go get a telly, man. It's just like it just keeps going on. And it's I figured out along the way that I don't have to stick to one thing necessarily. I love it all. I'm going to embrace it all. And then I started getting into multi-track recording at 10 years old. I got a little Fostex 4-track recorder, and I started to learn how to layer instruments on top of one another, and I became completely entranced in that whole world. So multi-track recording, and the fact that I was able to play all these other instruments, I was able to put together tracks, without needing anyone else. I was able to fully get all these ideas out of my head and execute them because I dabbled enough in all the other instruments. So that started a whole nother process of multi-tracking and all that. So it just comes from a love of everything and wanting to figure everything out, how it works, just sink my teeth into it as much as I can.
So that's a perfect segue, because I wanted to bring up, man, this is pretty incredible. Your first album, North End Soul, you were 17 when it came out, and you had a Billboard hit off of it. I believe top 15. Man, how did that come about, and how did you just right off the bat just hit the ground running?
Well, I was playing locally at the time in restaurants and clubs, and I had like a local following. I'd play every weekend all through high school. I didn't go to parties and stuff, and I was always around adults. I was playing out in restaurants and clubs. I had a one-man show. I would make tracks at home. I built up this whole library of tracks, all different types of genres for this one-man show. I'd start out with jazz, and I'd do a 70s set disco thing, then rock and roll, and I would do private parties and restaurants and stuff, and that was the extent of what I was doing at the time. But kind of at a certain point, there's starting to be inquiries of, are you going to come out with a CD? And I said, yeah, I've been thinking about it, but I wasn't going to do covers. I didn't want to record songs that I was doing in the show, because I had started to begin to put together some original material playing the saxophone, and I had to overcome the process of transitioning out of the 4-track recorder into then I moved up the ranks. I got a 12-track and digital, but then I had to overcome the learning curve of recording on a computer, which I didn't do before. So I took a year to invest in the equipment, and I learned how to program from a computer standpoint in MIDI. Prior to that, I wasn't doing any MIDI stuff. I was just doing all live instruments. I was actually miking drums and playing live, but when I started getting into the digital world, I realized that this is really more how I could get the sound I've been wanting to do, which was the contemporary jazz thing. I was starting to write songs in the vein of what we now know as contemporary smooth jazz, and I said, this is my gateway to try to get this sound. I started, drum machines. Oh yeah, this sounds like this is what I've been missing out on the radio, and synthesizers and bass parts, and so I put this CD together. But my intent was to just sell it on a local level to my local following. I didn't intend to really promote it on a national basis. What happened with that is, when I released it, it goes on iTunes and all these other music platforms, and unbeknownst to me, I was very naive at the time. There's people all over the world that look for new music, and they're dying for things, and such a small genre as it is, like a cult following, the genre of smooth jazz, that people started to find this CD. Now, this was still back in 2010, so there was still more radio stations than there were now, and there was still a lot of different online groups that were actively seeking out new music. And so I'd start getting emails, we're playing your song in such and such state in London. Like, what? What are you talking about? So it was so strange. And so as a gradual process, I would come to, just like anything else, you learn about the business, you meet people, you learn as you go along. And so fast forward about a year or so down the road, I professionally promote a single from that CD. It was called It Is What It Is. That was my first song that I'd written, the first song that was a single, and that's the one that ended up charting. And I kind of just took on its own life. That was never my intent, but you learn as you go along, and I think that's the best sometimes, when you don't go into stuff with any expectations. You just hope for the best and put your best effort forward, and that's what happened in my case. I think things just snowball from there.
And I do want to get to the new album, but before that, I dug up one kind of fun fact. You've become such a great drummer that in addition to being an incredible solo artist, isn't it right that you at some point were moonlighting and playing drums for a Elvis impersonator? Isn't that right?
Yes, very true. A lot of people don't realize I'm a huge Elvis fanatic, lifelong since birth, and it got to the point where I studied the Elvis music so much, I had it under my fingertips, that I put out a couple videos on YouTube of playing along to some live Elvis 70s versions, jumpsuit era stuff.
Okay.
It was full of a lot of energy, and a couple Elvis impersonators would eventually find this video, and I ended up hooking up with them. I became musical director for one of them, and I would fly to Vegas regularly and do these gigs with him, and it was a blast. It was like a chance for me to live vicariously through back in those days. And these are serious dudes, man. I mean, these aren't like, weekend warrior Elvis guys are playing at VFW. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying these were serious Elvis tribute artists that had unbelievable voices, and whether they had surgeries or not, I don't know. But these guys were unbelievable, and most particularly Justin Shandor is the first guy who found me and flew me out, and he's from Vegas, and I would go on to play with a couple other guys too. But Justin really is an amazing talent and a dear friend of mine to this day. Obviously, we haven't been doing much lately with COVID and all that. But on the side, when I have the extra time and I want to have some fun and just blow off some steam and play drums, why not? Again, I love it all. I want to do it. I love the entertainment business. I love all aspects of it. So it's fun for me, and it's just it's like a nice little release from the regular stuff. I don't have to be the front man for once. I could just be in the back and play music of my childhood that I love so much. So it's fun. But that's very true. Very true.
Okay, well let's get back to your catalog. You've got this brand new album that came out, and we're gonna play a couple songs off of it. Let's start with this one, Maybe You Think. It's the new single. Tell us about the tune.
I don't know why I called it that. It's so strange. I don't really have these elaborate stories about songs. Like some people say, I was walking on the beach one night and the sun was setting and I got this idea in my head. No, it doesn't work like that for me. I actually have to sit down and put together ideas. I have to get inspired by either a groove or melody comes first, and I structure a groove around that. But actually in this case, I think the most peculiar thing I could say about it is I was on my way to get takeout food one night in the car, and the melody just popped into my head, and I went home and I worked on it right away because I didn't want to lose it. I think there's a lot of ideas that come in our heads, and if we don't record them on our phone and the voice memos or write it, they're going to get lost. And sometimes you write down the idea, but then you say, what was that I was humming? Because you can't hear all the production around it. So that's important. So that's why I wanted to get home and complete everything around it. So I did a quick demo, and 90% of that was the demo that I did on the record that I do. That's how it works for me. I really go with these periods of nothing for a while, and then I just go all in, and I do almost 90% of the tune in one sitting, because that's how I go. I have to hear it all mixed and done, and I could spend hours, all day just finishing it, but then go a long periods of time with nothing. That's just my particular creative process. So that's the story of this song. And I'll also mention that it's I did live drums on this, and I wanted that kind of vintage vibe, the 70s feel, the way I employed the reverbs and stuff. I wanted that heavy pre-delay and all that stuff. Kind of make it sound like it was something from 1982.
Let's hear it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Maybe You Think.
Do it.
Killing tune, loved it, and we've got one more that you were nice enough to let me jam on. Tell us a little bit about this one.
Well, this is a personal song because it was a dear family friend of ours, Dr. Nancy Capella. She founded this organization called Are You Dense, which is it raises awareness for early stage breast cancer in women. A lot of women don't realize they have dense breast tissue, and what that'll do is it'll mask a normal mammogram reading. Your mammogram will come back normal, but if you have the dense breast tissue, it might not show that there's potential breast cancer there. And so she raised awareness of this whole thing, and she saved thousands of women's lives around the world. And but we knew her very personally as a family friend, and we would go to Florida once a year on a family vacation, and her husband would be vacationing there at the same time. And we would always get together with them once a year and have, dinner on their balcony and watch the sunset, because they had a nice condo that overlooked the beach, and the sunset would come, and we would do this every year. And on one of the last years that we were together, before she got sick, we were watching the sunset, and she said to me, that's going to be your next song. And I said, what's that? She said, Sunset on Marco, because we were on Marco Island. That's where we were in Florida. Wow. And I didn't think anything of it at the time. I said, that's great. Yeah, that's cool. But when I finished this song, I was listening to it, and I said, I was trying to title everything. And I said, what does this make me think of? And I thought about the beach, and I thought about Florida, at night, and just a couple different things went through my mind, but then it clicked. I said, you know what? This is Nancy's song. This is Sunset on Marco. And she had untimely passed at that point. Oh. And I just said, this is a no-brainer. This is finally going to be the song she told me about. And so needless to say, the song is now forever dedicated in her memory. So Sunset on Marco, that's Nancy's song. That's it. And, it's a big honor to have you play on this right now and jam with me. And kind of just takes you to another place, and takes me to those happy times of having dinner with our friends and watching the sunset and being on vacation and being carefree. And that's what the song portrays for me. But, the beautiful part about instrumental music is that there's no words to dictate what the song's about. It's up to the listener's imagination to dictate what the song does for them, because music provokes all different emotions, and it does so many things to so many different people. So it's a very personal thing.
At 'em. Man, Vincent, incredible tune. Thanks so much for letting me play on it. Before we get out of here, please let people know where they can find you online and on social media.
My website's vincentingala.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram with Vincent Ingala as the handle, nice and simple. And stop by, say hi, and hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. And I'm feeling hopeful for 2021. Hopefully, you and I will be able to get back to doing what we love and being on the road and making music. It's in our DNA, man. So this is an important part of our livelihood and our soul. So we really hope for the best and hope we all hunker down and do what we need to do, and just to get some sense of normalcy back.
I agree, man. I sincerely hope to see you out on the road soon in 2021. And man, thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes. That was the one and only Vincent Ingala. Man, talented guy. Vincent, appreciate you so much for coming through and sharing with us, man. 2 beautiful tunes and really great to get to know a little bit more of your backstory. So, man, awesome times with Vinny. And I think you all know what time it is. It's time for the cat cam. Let's bring her in. There she is, Miss America.
You are silly.
How are you today, Kat?
I am doing really well. How are you?
I'm good. Better now that I'm seeing you, and you look gorgeous.
Thank you.
As always, even though you've been doing all this prep for Thanksgiving and getting the house together, which we're going to share for you guys in a little bit. We got some great pictures for you of both, of getting the house together and Thanksgiving. And but we got a lot to get to. What's on your mind, Kat?
Yes. Okay, well, as always, you guys always know we love to see where you are watching from, and you give out your shout-outs. So first we saw some of our friends watching. Steve Hall. Steve Hall's always in watching.
Steve Hall, mastering engineer extraordinaire in the house.
We saw our friend Julian Vaughn.
Julian Vaughn, Black Dynamite in the house. What's up, Julian? Happy Thanksgiving, man.
And then we have Janet Rollins. She's watching from Maryland. Valerie Kovac. She's in Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. Cheryl Walters is watching from Phoenix. Tremaine Spivey Mosley, Woodstock, Georgia. Jency Banks, she's in New York City. Hi, Jency.
All right, what's up?
Shirley White watching from Atlanta.
Okay.
Gary Fustin from OKC.
All right.
Edgar Correa. Hi, Edgar.
Hey, Edgar. What's up, man?
He says he's watching from work in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Thank you so much for tuning in from work.
All right, don't tell your boss, but but thanks for sticking away.
And we have some of our church family watching. Miss Kathy Gill.
Hi, Gill,
Kathy.
Center of Hope in the house.
We
What's
miss you.
Inglewood, up to no good.
I have one of my girlfriends. We met through book club, but now she's one of my good friends. Charlene watching here from SoCal as well. Hey,
what's
Char.
up?
And then we have some birthday shout outs that a lot of people wrote into. So Joy Russell, hi Joy.
Hey.
And her husband Peter, hi Peter.
Happy
Thank you guys
birthday,
so much for watching.
Peter, how you doing?
So this weekend is Peter's birthday. So we're sending out a birthday shout out to you. Happy birthday.
All right.
Well wishes. Happy Thanksgiving. And we had a lot of birthdays this week.
Yeah.
And last week, my mom's birthday was last week, so we celebrated
Grammy.
that.
All right.
Grammy. And then Greg Manning's birthday, I believe was today?
That's
today?
right. No, it was
yesterday. Okay. Well, happy birthday,
Greg. And then
Greg.
Marcus Anderson's birthday was Monday.
Yes, Marcus and Marcel.
Man, I don't know what it is about November. Yes, and his incredibly talented twin brother, Marcel. Of course, it was also Marcel's birthday. He's a twin. So, yeah, man, a lot of November birthdays.
I know. And then my sister and our brother-in-law in Georgia, they're celebrating their wedding anniversary tomorrow. It falls on Thanksgiving this year.
Awesome.
And I think it's like, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. I really don't know. But
it's been a while.
Happy anniversary to my sister and our brother-in-law.
Yes, happy anniversary.
Yes, and so during your interview with Vincent, so many people they already knew how talented he was and just how well-rounded he was as far as instruments and singing. But then there were a few people that kind of didn't really know and also didn't know about the Elvis band.
The Elvis thing is so cool. I mean, why not? You got some free time? Yeah, let's go, MD, music direct an Elvis show. Why not? And play drums. So yeah, it's a pretty cool fun fact, and
And so many people were saying he's so multi-talented.
Definitely, yeah.
Michelle Dahl wins. She said dedication to your craft definitely has paid off.
Yeah.
She also said she saw him on the Smooth Jazz Cruise in 2019, and she said he's so collaborative.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
A lot of people definitely remember seeing him on different cruises.
Yeah.
And then when you guys played the first song,
maybe you think that's his new single. Yeah.
The new single. Brian Williams says great vibe.
Yeah.
Colleen Ross, she also said great sound. So a lot of people were really liking that song.
Yeah, he was going for circa 1982.
Right?
So hey, he channeled it.
And the next song, Sunset on Margot.
Yeah.
Just as everyone else did, I really did love that.
Gorgeous tune.
Yeah, that tune. And he really set it up, for us to get the full picture. And it's just really beautiful, his dedication and inspiration he got from that.
Yeah.
So many people were saying, I love that story. Thank you so much for sharing that tip and the story.
Yeah.
Kat Finn says, it's so great to hear what inspires musicians and songwriters.
Yeah.
And
and Vinny made a great point, with instrumental music. Obviously that song is very powerful, has a lot of meaning to him, but at the same time, when there's not lyrics, it can mean so many different things to different people, and especially a composition like that is just just a gorgeous tune, and it meant a lot to me. I had a blast playing it, so it's a beautiful thing.
And then Diane Johnson, she said, Adam, you have a different guitar.
Yes, well, people have been asking for several weeks now, hey, you're going to mix it up. I mean, obviously, this is my first love, is playing jazz guitar for you guys. And I saw someone mention, too, PRS, that's right. I've been playing PRS now for a while. But yeah, I broke out. I have a Rodriguez Brothers nylon string classical guitar. And it just worked out perfect. Steve Oliver originally played on that track for Vincent and played nylon strings. So I didn't want to let Vinny down. I had to come with the acoustic.
He said I didn't want to let Vinny down.
With the acoustic guitar. And it was fun though. It was fun. I hadn't played that one in a little bit, and so yeah, you got to mix it up sometimes.
Definitely.
Yep.
So that was really fun. I really enjoyed both of those songs from Vinny. And then he's always energetic. So many people said in the comments that he's so fun.
Yeah.
Which he is fun. And he's a really cool guy to talk to, really nice. And I love his parents. Every time we see Vinny,
they're the best.
We see his parents, and they're just amazing people.
They
love
are.
them.
They are. Yeah. Awesome. Well, you call it, Kat. Do you think we should go through our pictures, or should we do Ask Adam?
We should do Ask Adam, because I think some of the questions, especially carrying over from last week.
That's right. There were so many.
They kind of go into this week.
Perfect. Well, then, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for Ask Adam. What are the people asking, Kat?
Well, we have a lot of questions today, which is exciting because we have some carrying over from last week. So here's one that we didn't get to last week. This is from Leon Lee. Hi, Leon.
Hey,
and
what's
Willie.
up? All right.
She says, do you prefer writing your own songs and playing and or recording those songs, or do you prefer that someone else writes the songs and you play and or record them?
Gosh, there's so many different ways to go about it, and there's not a right or wrong, really. I personally, write and produce everything that ends up on my records, and I really love being hands-on through the whole process, and then mixing as well before we hand it off to Steve Hall. But I really love being integrally involved through the whole process. But there's other incredible artists that are just a singular, incredible talent, and then people write for them. And so, again, there's no right or wrong, but I definitely prefer that for myself, is, to see it through from the initial idea all the way through finishing it and putting it out. So that's definitely my workflow. I just like, being in there top to bottom.
And one more question from her. She says, which do you find easier to write and play, harmony, melody, or rhythm?
That's a great question, too. And you know what? It starts a lot of different ways. Although lately I've been writing more so the chords and the rhythm, or in other words, another way we would call it is the track. A lot of times now, lately, I've been writing the track and then figuring out a melody later. However, earlier in my career, I had a lot of melodies that I had to then fill in around. Perfect example would be the song I Don't Mind. I just had that figure stuck in my head. Do-da-do-da-do. That was just stuck in my head, and it was so strong and vivid, and I just knew in my heart if I could write a track around that as strong as that motif, that we might have something. And sure enough, it ended up being a big song for me, which I feel fortunate. So it can be a variety of different ways, but lately I've been doing more of the groove and then filling in the melody later.
Awesome. So Creston Jordan.
What's up, Creston?
Hi, Creston. This was also carried over from last week. He said, are you guys putting up any holiday decorations? And he also said, I know, new house, you're moving, but are you putting up any decorations?
We are, and we're going to have some pictures we're going to share in a little bit. We're getting started. The house is starting to come into focus, although we're missing some furniture. Ladies and gentlemen, it is challenging out there if you're trying, at least where we live, if you're trying to get anything, couch, bed. So it's pretty funny. We went into several stores and all of them have nothing in stock. And they were like, yeah, no problem. We'll take your order. But it'll be until December 27th that it arrives. So it's kind of funny. So some things are working great at the place. Obviously, the studio got that up and running right away. But we're still missing a couch in the main living room.
Some chairs, dining table.
Oh yeah, chairs. Oh yeah, dining room
our
table.
Our bed. Yeah. So we have been doing air mattresses. It's just
it's kind of wild, but it's all like piece by piece. It's coming together, and but yeah, we'll show those pictures in a little bit. We're doing a little bit of decorating.
Although I will have to say the small Christmas decorations that we did put up outside, they're very cute, but we do need some more.
Yeah.
And Adam, he's acting like he doesn't want to get on the ladder to put the rest of the lights on the top of the palm.
Hey, I gotta take care of the hands here, so.
So even Adam Jr. was like, Dad, we need to put the lights at the top of the palm.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Robert Crutcher. He says because there are no lyrics. How do you remember which song is which?
That's a great point. It's funny too. Once in a while, I'll catch myself. Oh wait, what was the melody of that one? So. Yeah, you just got to keep up on the tunes. That's actually been a really fun thing about doing this Facebook show. I have never played all of my songs like this before in my life. I'd pick a few, put them in the show, and then others would be forgotten, and I've only played them once, on the record. So actually, I'm really up on all of my songs, much better than usual due to AH Live. But practice makes perfect would be the answer.
Ellen Nakata Harper, she says, oh, that's so sweet. She says, enjoy your first Thanksgiving in your new home. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate
she also says, is Rufus still leaving presents?
No, he's been doing better. Well,
he's been doing better.
There's been a few liquid presents, but nothing like what we described to you last week where he destroyed our closet. So he's doing better, and I'm getting him acclimated. I've been taking him out on walks every day and getting him acclimated to the neighborhood, and so he's starting to settle in. A lot of you jumped in on the comments. Hey, he's nervous. He's not used to the surroundings, and you're exactly right. So we're getting him acclimated, and he's starting to come around. He's starting
to settle down.
It was pretty funny. He had never had to climb stairs before. And this is now a 2-story house, so that was pretty hilarious seeing him just, it's very gingerly, one step then another, and then he would just wait, and sometimes he'd get stuck halfway up, So he's a pro now, though. He's rocking those stairs.
He's so funny. And Lori Erickson, she says, are you guys enjoying your new home, or are you still organizing? But I think we kind of went into that. We are still organizing. Since we had painting happening the first week and a half, we moved in. We couldn't, really live. We couldn't unpack or anything like that. So boxes are still boxes.
Yeah.
Nothing really is unpacked.
We haven't touched anything in the garage. So we got a ton of probably 30 boxes in there. So it's coming along. As I mentioned in the last couple weeks, I had some really big deadlines. And so the priority was just have the studio not be down, or have it be down as little as possible. So I think I broke it down and put it back together in about 48 hours and got right back to work. So, but definitely as it gets a little slower and we have some more time and have Adam Jr. at our disposal during winter break, we'll start working through those.
So my friend Charlene and then Robert Crutcher, they kind of have questions that kind of go together. So Char says, who's cooking the turkey? Robert Crutcher says, do you guys deep fry your turkey? And that would be me.
Okay.
I'm cooking the turkey.
I'm the tester, though. That's a very important job.
Yeah.
Very important.
Adam is the tester. And then I know last week someone had asked, I think it was Linda Dickinson, I'm not sure, if we were going to cook this year or not. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. If I wanted to order some things from restaurants, like from their Thanksgiving menus and stuff. But I just decided to cook. And, it's just myself, Adam Jr., and then my mom. And I did order a few side things from some, like our favorite cafe that we go to. So a little bit of both, but I'm not going crazy how if we were hosting, 14 people like normal. So it should be a little easier this year.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect segue. Let's bring in some of these pictures. We have some pictures to share with you guys of what we've been up to the last week. So first up, this is some strong gentlemen pulling a package out of a truck out in front of our house. Okay, so let's see what this is.
And I purchased this probably like 6 or 7 weeks ago before we even moved into this house. And again, with all the furniture being on back order, it just got here today. So I was really happy to see it.
So here we go. It looks like a mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Ta-da!
Who's the fairest of them all?
It's so beautiful.
And so just to give you guys an idea, this is our
entry.
The entryway into the home as you first walk in. And there's the last picture there so you can kind of see it. And to the right, that's the sitting room. So it's starting to come together. We're starting, we got the house painted and starting to get some of these furniture decor going. All right, let's keep going. So here you can see... As Kat said, we haven't gotten very high on the palm trees yet. We're only about halfway up, and they're daring me to get on the ladder. And
it actually, looking at it, it doesn't look that tall because it's just slightly above the mini palms, but the tree is so tall.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on a step ladder, and even with Adam and his height, we couldn't really wrap it.
We just got started. Don't shame us, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna have to get the regular ladder.
We're gonna work this out, but we're just getting started. There's the front door. We got this lovely wreath. What is this? A cranberry wreath or something?
Yeah, they're like holiday berries.
Very
and then
nice,
put like a cute bow on it, and we have a really cute Joy to the World mat.
Yeah.
Just like literally ran to Lowe's and just got something. So next Christmas will definitely be a little bit more festive and more intense. Adam Jr. said, Mom, we need to be more festive. We need inflatables. We need more stuff on the wind. I said, Adam, just like chill. Okay, it's our first Christmas here.
Well, and speaking of Adam Jr., I just pulled up this picture. He had a little bit of trouble. He had to go to the doctor this week. He's in a boot. His ankle and foot have been bothering a little bit. So he's moving around with some crutches right now, but he's supposed to be better in a few weeks.
He's great. He rolled his ankle playing basketball in front of the house in our last house, actually. So it's been like probably 3 weeks, and we're just like, we'll put ice on it, wrap it up, you'll be fine. But it wasn't healing. So finally we were like, we need to go to the doctor. They got x-rays. It's not broken, just a very bad sprain. However, it's a re-injury. He injured this same ankle last year during a basketball game. So, the same foot, same injury. We're just going to have to watch it throughout the years and have him wear ankle support when playing basketball and stuff. So.
And then let's see, what do we have here? Okay, so here we are to our goodies for Thanksgiving. So we got some packages from Little Flower in Pasadena. Amazing bakery. and I'll start to cycle through these. We've got a few pies, apple crumb and regular apple. What else have we got here? Ooh, there's the cornbread. Did Grammy make this? Or
Grammy made that cornbread because
it looks good.
She's taking over
That's got my name on it.
my grandma later tonight.
And then we got one more. Okay, we've got the turkey. The young turkey.
Yeah. The turkey will be cooked tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah, so we've got some. Again, I'm the resident tester. I'm gonna work it out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I do, and But I appreciate you and Grammy doing the heavy lifting in the kitchen, and I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it smells amazing, and I'm sure you guys are working it out over there too. So
and I still have my sweet potatoes are in the oven right now as we're doing the show because we're gonna make some sweet potato pie.
Oh my goodness!
Tomorrow.
Yep.
And a lot of people, actually, no, I think I'll make them tonight. And that way I won't have too much to do. But a lot of people don't know what sweet potato pie is. Just think of a sweet potato, and if you've had candy yams, you put it in the pie. And some people think it's similar to pumpkin pie. No.
I'm not ashamed to admit
different.
I grew up in Oregon and we had pumpkin pie. I never heard of sweet potato pie until I met my lovely wife. And I don't discriminate. I like both. But I do love sweet potato pie. It's an amazing thing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So I think that's it. We got through all of our questions. We got through the photos. Anything else you need to add?
I think that's it.
Okay.
I appreciate you, honey. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kat with the Cat Cam. Appreciate
Bye,
you,
guys.
Kat.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And it is that time where I let you know what is going on next week. And I'm so excited. We've got an incredible flautist all the way from San Antonio, the one and only Althea Renee is dropping in for episode 35. That's next Wednesday, December 2nd, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. She is an incredible artist, incredible flautist, and has the distinction as the very first flautist to go #1 on Billboard. So can't wait to have her in for some great conversation and great music. And by the way, one more time, just to remind you guys, if you want to support the show, it's very easy. You can just click those links in the description. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and now Stars as well. So appreciate you guys so much. It warms my heart and cannot thank you enough. So before we get out of here, I've got one more tune for you. And I was trying to think about what would be a great tune to finish the show on Thanksgiving Eve, something that warms the heart. And I just thought of this tune from Al Jarreau that is a favorite of mine, and it's called Mornin'. So feel free to sing along. I know you guys know the tune, and I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been such a joy to hang out with you on a Wednesday. Today was episode 34 featuring the one and only Vincent Ingala. Don't forget, next week we have Althea Renee, December 2nd, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Wednesday. Hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
So damn hard to leave ya, but every touch is